He's a helper.
Nice.
Are we using any AI to like record these meetings and translate them and post them somewhere? Or are we doing that yet? I can't hear you.
I did see that we used a system the last time we had a meeting, but I haven't like looked at it to see how and transcribed.
Okay,
I'll check
cool.
it
Yeah, I
out.
think I think there's a way to do it.
It's this
Um,
AI companion thing, right? Is that this button
I
at the
don't
bottom?
know. I mean, I would assume that they could do cool stuff, because instead of like when I say they, I'm talking about Zoom, since I doubt they want to just people to pay for like third-party AI apps to translate and do all that stuff. So I'm assuming whatever they got is pretty good. I just never played with it.
Should I hit it? I'll just turn it on. See
Yeah,
what
and then
happens.
you could play with it afterwards and see what the deal is. All right, so we live. Sydney is on. Sydney wanted some help brainstorming, so that's where we're gonna start off with. Um, let's brainstorm, Sydney. Tell me what you got.
Hey, good afternoon. Appreciate it. So here's the situation. I have a property that is hitting the market this weekend. I'm able to get something in contract with another agent in my office. So I'm only showing it this weekend just in case something happens. And I would like to entice, obviously, try to get some buyers out of it. So the property will appraise at 570. Model matches inside of development. There's been four sales inside of development, all supportive for the 565 contract in which we're going to enter with this other agent. My question is, I wanted to go in at like $535,000 just to be competitive. So drop it below. And you know what? Just in case something happens with this one, at least I don't have to do a price drop and I can allow it to naturally get offers that will be above, knowing that it'll appraise for another 35K. So my question is, do I go in at 535, accept the offer at 565 as planned, or do I put it on the MLS at like a 550 because I know that I'm getting this other offer that we're going to enter into contract probably in the next hour. So I'm just saying,
All right.
like outside of what is most likely to happen today, for strategy wise, do I go lower and then when I have open house anyway this weekend just to see if I can get some more clients out of it, then I know like, hey, oh, this one didn't work for you. Let me door knock this entire development. I'll find you another two bedroom at this price and then try to work it that way, or do I go higher and then I just don't want to in this market, it's been real, as everyone knows, pretty iffy. So I'm thinking going at 535. And if I go at 535, does it matter what the contract is with my client is at 535, 565, 550? You know what I mean? As far as the purchase contract. Or do I just say, hey,
Yeah,
the purchase contract is going to be at 535 for marketing purposes on the MLS, but we're going in at 565?
got it. Yeah, and when you say purchase contract, you're talking about listing agreement, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would say that we have a property right now that we had comps at 440 to 450. We listed at it was a condo. We listed at 449, crickets. We
Mm-hmm.
expired it about a month later. We listed at 399 and we got five parties, three offers. All three offers were at 425. And we chose an offer and we went into escrow. The appraisal came back at 450. Now, this buyer canceled. So now we're back on the market, same price, 399, but every agent so far that has seen it, we've talked to him. We said, hey, look, it's listed for 399. That's for marketing purposes. We're expecting to sell it somewhere in the 430 range. And by the way, we have a 450 appraisal, which will save your client money. Now we know it's not worth 450 anymore. Those are just the comps because the market has been going down as far as
Mhm.
condos over the last 6 months. But it's still worth 430, I think.
Yeah.
So, but that's what we're doing. So I think that you should go in and list it at that 535 and just be clear with everyone that you have comps at 570 or 5
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, get yourself some clients and double up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And by the way,
Can't wait.
tomorrow, Chris Benjamin, he's going to be talking specifically how to use social media in order to get more leads from your existing listings. So that's going to be good.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Thanks for asking that. Good luck.
Thank you,
Congrats.
sir. I know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's so crazy because Kendall came by with his client yesterday. They ended up wanting a 3 bedroom, which John is going to list in about 8 days. And then John's client came by and they were happy with the 2 bedroom. So it's like all three of us were just like, oh shit, this is cool.
Hey.
Keep it in the family. So yeah.
Hell yeah. That's the basketball family. That's the newly found basketball family.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. So let's look for some deals. By the way, if you guys ever want to jump on, ask questions, hop on. By the way, Sydney, before you jump off too, Coffee and Cash tomorrow, 8 a.m. I'm really excited about that one. My friend, she's coming, hosting. She's guest speaking. She's gonna be she owns 60 rentals here in San Diego, and she's about my same age, about 41. So that's gonna be good. But yeah, you could always jump on, ask questions like you just did, specific questions, and then I'll answer them. All right, so now let me look for some deals. Let's see what we find. And let me go to my safe search. Cool. There's 8 new listings, which I haven't seen that many in a long time. There's a triplex for 950. This looks decent right off top. So the first thing I noticed is under a million triplex. You don't see that too often. City Heights, I think that sounds like a good deal. I'm going to start reading this. It says tenants are month to month, 10-year leases. Rents were last increased mid 2023. Issued rent increase notice effective 11. So wow, November 1st, and the rents are 7,086. So that's about $2,300 per door in rent. Um, and they're huge. 4 bedroom, 2 bath, a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and a 3 bedroom, 1 bath. So my first instinct is this is a great deal. Now, I want my next instinct is are all these like actually permitted? Because it sounds like they're just it sounds too good to be true. Um, so let me look at the map. It's off Fairmont, so it's like in the hood, a little, Dwight and Highland, it's a little hood. 5,000 square foot lot. And then let me see. It's been on the market 177 days. So, okay, now there's something wrong with it. I just noticed this NOD, notice of default. That means that they're in foreclosure. They're behind on their payments. Um, and let's look at the property. It doesn't look bad. It looks like in the front house, and then the back unit looks, old. Um, tenants, and that's it. That's all the photos that we have. Let's look at the tax record real quick. I want to see what's going on with the tax record. Claudia, do you know about this property since you look at the MLS every day? And
I
can you tell me what's wrong with it?
um I thought it was just the location being on like the busy street.
Well, it's not on the busy street.
It's on Highline Avenue, no?
Yeah, City Heights.
Oh, and then I'm thinking of another one because there is another one in National City.
So you
Then
haven't looked at this one then?
no.
All right. So Jason Whitehead. I don't know why this sounds familiar. Yeah, look at 3 units, 8 bedrooms. So it's a 4 bedroom, a 3 bedroom, and a 2 bedroom. So it should be 9 bedrooms. So that might be off. And then it says it's a 4 bedroom, 4 bath, 4.5 bathroom. Right here is I count 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that's all there. 3 units. It seems like a good deal for sure. And let me run some quick numbers for y'all. Total rents, it's saying that they're receiving 7,086 a month. Can you guys see my calculator?
Yes.
Cool, thanks. So 37.5 plus 1288 plus 2162. So that's less than 7,000, but they did a 10% increase or whatever they did. So now they're receiving 7,000 and some change. Now I'm just gonna go off the 7,086. So 786 times 12, that's 85,000 a year minus 40% expense. The first one I'm gonna do is just a cap rate real quick. That gives me NOI, net operating income, and um, price. They're asking a range 950 to, so I'm just gonna do a million. I'm divided by a million. That's gonna give me like a 5.1% cap rate. So 5.1% cap rate on low rents, that's pretty good. So there we go, 5.1%. So the second thing we're gonna do is just a GRM real quick. So a GRM is gonna be $1 million divided by the gross annual rents, which is 85,032, 11.7 GRM, Claudia, and this is on actuals. This is the type of properties I need you to find for, these people that are looking for triplexes and duplexes. The 11.6% on actuals is amazing. Under a 12. I've mentioned that before. Anytime you see 11, you gotta look very closely at it. And then if we look at a 4 bedroom, 2 bath, it should rent for more than 3,075. So I would just ballpark a 3,500 for a 4 bedroom. The 3-1, 770 square feet, so it's small. I would call it like, I don't know, 2,400. And then the 2-1, 758 square feet, that one I would just say 2,000. So rents, 7,900. I think that's kind of market, and I think you could get that. So that times 12, that's 94,000 a year. Now, when I do a GRM on $1 million and I do divided by 94,800 a year, that's a 10 and a half GRM. This is a great deal. We got to look at it. We got to see what's going on. Let me call the agent. You guys could just put yourselves on mute. 858 610 8517. Something's going on with this property. So I got to find out because right now it sounds too good to be true. Okay, it went straight to voicemail. So I'm trying again. Her phone's off. Active since last year. Oh, Jason Whitehead. So he's hello, this is Voltaire Lape real estate agent, and I'm giving you a call in regards to your Highland Avenue triplex. Give me a call when you get a chance. Again, Voltaire Lape real estate agent. Thank you. So it looks like the owner tried to list it himself last year, 1.275. It expired. Then he hired another agent. I don't know why. And then this year they dropped the price several times. They just can't sell it. Not sure why. So that's what we got to find out what's going on there. And because I think it could be a good deal. Any questions before we move on from this one? And it's been sitting on the market, and it just went into escrow 7 days ago, and now it's back on the market. So, we got to find these deals. And this is a deal. It seems like might need some work. I'm not denying that. It does look like it needs some work, and it's in foreclosure now. Let's look at the dates real quick just to see if we have time. Auction date. So he already got the second notice. The first one is right here. It's called the notice of default last year, a year from now, or a year ago, sorry. And then in June, he received the second one, which is called notice of trustee sale. That's the auction date. So he might be up against the clock. And so let's find out what's going on. Let me text this to myself. That way I don't forget. But Claudia, if you could follow up on this and let's let's get somebody into it. Seems like it's a good deal. There we go. Texted it to myself. Wow, first property. It's a deal. Somebody buy it. Um, Next one, Hanover Street. So first thing I noticed is a zip code, Emerald Hills, and 725. Second thing I noticed, it looks nice. Like this first photo is like, what? But then I know 67 days on the market. They had a price reduction, but 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,400 square feet. Um, if I do the math on that real quick, that's 725 divided by the square footage. I want to see price per square foot, 511. So 511 square feet, that's decent. It ain't a screaming deal for sure. It's not. But I'm looking at it and it looks like, oh, okay. So you're using AI to make it look good. So they have, the now you notice the flooring more without the furniture, and it looks kind of, yeah, it looks kind of rough. I mean, it's good, in case you don't want to stage your property, you just use AI. And then you have the exterior yard. So it's definitely not a deal, but for 725 for a 4 bedroom house, call your clients, show it to them. I think also, Claudia, this type of property might be good for someone like Elise and Adrian who qualify for this amount, and maybe they want a house if he's not sold on a duplex because it's a big house and it's by the Navy, and they could get friends to rent the rooms like they talked about. For 725, not bad. If it was like 775 or 800 or whatever, then it wouldn't be worthwhile to look at. The next one, Elk Street, which is same neighborhood, 829C. So this one's like the same basically, except it's 829 instead of 725. So it's $100,000 more, and it's fully remodeled. This one looks nice. First time buyer, move in here, move in ready. Looks good. 26 days on the market. Okay, not a deal. Next one. This looks like a duplex. It says fully renovated duplex, 1936 Broadway. So the first thing I notice is this address. I like it. It's why? Because it's 19th and Broadway, which is right next to downtown. So it's the last street before you hit downtown. So why do I like it? Because future potential, right? This is before even looking at the property. Now just look at the property. It looks like it's a duplex with a garage. Huh. So if this is a duplex with a garage, this is unit one maybe, and unit two right here. And the garage could easily be converted into an ADU. Now you got 3 units, uh, a block away from downtown. I mean, it's worth looking. It's Golden Hill. Um, I think something like this would be good for Shane, right? So I'm trying to, like, right now, Claudia, like uh, I'm telling you specifically because I want to train you to look at like, hey, what's good, you know? And this is perfect for a developer.
What's the zoning on that right there? Because I can see next door looks like it's a 2 or 3 story building that was to
Yeah.
the right of it, and then obviously all that space. So I don't know if zoning allows for more than the 2 or 3 that this could be.
Yeah. So I'll check right now, Sydney, but I know across the street from the photos, they're building a big monstrosity. They're building like
Yeah.
a 60 unit building across the street. So this is going to allow for you to build. This as a layup ADU conversion, a freaking layup. It already has foundation, framing, roof. All you need is just to go in there and just convert this easy turnaround rental. And then what is this? This looks like underneath the house. So this is like even extra space. Oh crap, it's huge. So it looks like maybe they already tried and then maybe they had to rip it out for the city. I don't know, but
What's the address?
this is address is Broadway 1930 1936. This is a seems like it could be a good deal. And it's a complete communities program. So that means you could build at least a 6.5 FAR.
So this one comes up as CN 1-3, which already tells me it's commercially zoned.
Right.
I'll tell you exactly what this is can build on.
Duplex, oversized with excellent development potential, including ADUs as one of several options. The versatile opportunity allows for immediate rental income. Complete communities. So when you do complete communities, you just kind of do this math right here. I'll show you guys real quick. It's called floor area ratio, FAR. So you do the total square footage of the lot, which is 4868 times, I haven't even looked it up, but I'm guessing 6.5 FAR. So that means you could build 31,000 square feet of structure. So what does that mean? 31,000 square feet divided by 800 square foot units. That means, 40 units, you round up. It has two currently, so you could build another 38 units, and this is the lot size. This is where I take that lot size from. What did you come up with, Sydney?
It says
Take
CN 1-3 allows development with a pedestrian orientation and permits a maximum density of one dwelling unit for every 1,500 square feet of lot area. So that gives you at least 3 units. But then I think it changes when you deal with FAR. When you go
Yeah,
vertical, you're no longer using lot size, you're going vertical. So I think depending on the FAR side of this, right now you can have 3 units so that garage can be converted, but I'm sure you can go up, and
yeah,
stack them, and then that changes everything. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So thanks for that. And by the way, this complete communities, this supersedes that or adds on to that CN 13. So with this allows you to increase the square footage of what you could build, and it goes something like this. You got to Google complete communities, San Diego map. They have their own website, and then this is going to tell me what FAR. Again, I guess that is 6.5. Let's see what it truly is. If you could send that in the group chat right now, Claudia, to Shane. So I think this is up his alley. So I hit 1936 Broadway, research, and I click here, and you see this 6.5 FAR. So we could build 6.5 times the lot size. And the lot size again is 4868. And that gives you what I just calculated, which is 31,000 square feet of structure that you could build up. So, yeah, this is good for someone, and that someone could be a developer. And or you could just, if you don't want to build up, that's fine. You just turn that garage into an ADU. You have 3 units in Golden Hill for under 1.5 million, which isn't like a great deal, but I mean, it's something to hold on to long term, right by downtown.
Would you turn that garage into a third unit and still build an ADU? Because the multifamily, you get like another ADU space and it keeps you under 4 units. Or, is that based on whatever city variance it is? Like what decides ADU versus a third unit? Is it
Yeah.
is it like, I don't know, like permit ease, or you don't have to
Yeah.
build another like gas line? Like, what is that? How
Good
do you
question.
decide? Yeah.
So, from my understanding, when you build an ADU versus adding let's say a unit, in theory, physically, you look at it, it's the same thing, right? It's just another unit. But the reason why they do ADUs and why ADU bonuses or laws are so great is because the fees you pay to the city are a lot less. Where if you go with a unit, all of a sudden the fees eat you alive, right? You got to pay all these like school fees and extra fees and blah blah blah. So when they do the math side by side, building a, a unit versus an additional dwelling unit, ADU, it's cheaper to build basically. And I also remember that um, there's two other laws to look at. There's so many laws, and this is why realtors shouldn't become developers because they don't know. Developers should be developers, right? But realtors should have a good understanding. So in this case, Sydney, there's like a law that was passed that allows you in California, anywhere in California, supersedes city, it allows you to build like basically double whatever you already have. So if you have a duplex, you can build another duplex without, that's a California law, not a San Diego law. Let me pick this up. This is a lady from the other listing. Hold on. Hi, good morning. Yeah, thanks for calling me back. I was giving you a call. I noticed the property. I have a client looking for like a triplex in that $1 million range. And I was wondering, it went into escrow. Is it still available? And then secondly, why did it fall out of escrow?
Because they think that it's they offer for the seller. They ask kind of price, but the seller is not willing to accept. So that's why we can escrow.
Got it. Okay. What price does your seller want? Got it. So 980,000. And then the rents I noticed are 7,086 total.
Yes.
Can you tell me how much is each one? How much is a 4 bedroom? How much is a 3 bedroom? How much is a two?
339. The bedroom is 2,348. The two-bedroom is 1,399.
Okay. So the 2 bedroom is 1399. Okay. And then I noticed that there was a notice of default foreclosure. How's that coming along? Where are you at there?
You know, just one. But it's not.
Okay. Understood. And then what's the condition of the units? Would it go like FHA? Would it go anything like that?
The latest inspection reports that was done, and then you can decide whether to move forward or not. You
Yeah.
don't want to go like, go back and forth and then changing minds.
Yeah.
We want to work with someone who's serious about buying. I mean, this is a good price. It's a 3-unit property in City Heights, and the area is really nice. The tenants have been there for more than 10 years, and they're happy living there.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. More than 10 years. And then okay, so now 980,000 is your seller, if I bring you a 980 offer, clean, solid buyers and everything, is your seller willing to pay a 3% commission?
Percentage. We did on the other one, the other offer. He was willing to pay for it, so
Okay. Good.
I can present it to the seller.
Cool.
Will it be in the car form?
Yeah.
They're just offering, but they're not submitting a car form.
Sure. Yeah, it's gonna be a full offer for sure. So I'll drive my clients by the outside today, just by the outside drive, and then yeah, if they like it, I'll send you an offer.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for taking my call. Bye.
Bye.
That's a good deal. 980. So let's get that done, Claudia. We have like several buyers for that. But going back to this one, and by the way, guys, that's how you ask, right? So you want to ask these questions about the property, and then you want to say, hey, if I give you like what you want, which is a 980 offer, easy, strong buyer, etc., are you willing to pay my 3% commission? In this case, she says, well, yeah, the guy was paying one before, so I'll present it. So it sounded okay. Now, if she would have given me pushback, then we would have had a further conversation about it. Does that make sense? But the main thing is, what you don't want to do, what I found out was just write an offer, put our 3% commission, and all of a sudden, like, they counter it to 2. So I want to be able to have that conversation prior, and then that way I could talk to the agent and be like, hey, we talked about this. You said it was okay. I wrote it in there. This is what I'm expecting. So you want to put all the expectations of the offer up front on a conversation. All right. Going back to this property in Golden Hill, going back to like a new law, right? So there's a new law that says if you have a duplex, you could build a duplex, no questions asked. So now you could build 4 units for sure, no matter of the CN13, 1 unit per 1,500 square feet. So that's a brand new law that we should all know about. Um, the other thing is you should know about the existing California law that says that if you have like a, a well, that's for residential. If you have a residential house, you could build an ADU and a junior ADU, no questions asked. And then um, and then you have the complete communities, which we just went over. And then we have the base zoning, which is CN13, like Sydney said. And then there's the SZA, which used to be the TPA, transportation, area. So this would qualify for it because there's a bus line on that same street. So now you could build like unlimited ADUs potentially, as well for this property on Broadway. So this is overall like a good development play. And let me see. You see this in the background? This is next door neighbor across the street. He's building like, I don't know, 6 or 8 units. It looks beautiful, but it's a big monstrosity. So there we go. You see it right here in the windows. You see this big development across the street. So this gives you an idea of what could be built. So I like this. I like this deal. The hard part about this deal, I'll tell you right now, is the financing. So you probably won't be able to go in there with a VA loan or FHA loan residential because, like Sydney said, it's zone commercial. So as soon as they see the lender sees that it's zone commercial, then it requires maybe commercial loan. But we got to ask a lender to see if it'll work or not. And by the way, did anyone catch this potential mistake? It's listed as a lot, piece of land. So maybe that's why, Claudia, you didn't see it, right?
They have it as units too.
Okay, cool. So they have both. Good. She did a good job, or he did a good job.
I had seen it, but it was only like a 2-1 and a 1-1. So I didn't think because of how Shane explained how he would have it running while he develops. So
Yeah,
I think that would be a play, but I guess because of the location and um
yeah. Location, develop. You could develop. It has that garage easy, and then it has the underneath. That big underneath space. So there's a lot of to unpack there. Cool. The next one, house, Webster Avenue, 28th and Webster for 599. This to me seems good so far because anything under 600,000 in this little pocket of Logan, which is, you know, decent and it's close to downtown, that automatically is good. Now, this isn't great, 3,400 square foot lot, super small lot. Um, Again, I'm thinking out loud of how I look at these deals, right? So now let's look at the condition. If it's beat up, then it's probably not great. But if it's decent, then it's probably good. Yeah, I like it. Under 600,000, 3,400 square foot lot. I don't like that part, but the condition's decent. And it has a little yard. And you can convert that into an ADU easy. So I like it. This is for somebody for sure. $600,000 home in San Diego, 5 minutes from Petco Park. Like this is a no-brainer, I think. We got to get this in front of somebody. Now, the only bad part, this isn't bad. This street, which is where our office is at, it could be kind of rough, you know, um, on the Logan side. But this one's like 2 houses in, which should be okay. Who do we have for this? By the way, this is how you should be thinking. When you're looking at property, you should be thinking like, who do I got for this? Like, who would want a property like this? And I'm going through my Rolodex in my head. Caesar, this is perfect for him. Under 600, has a little ADU conversion, little yard, like he feels comfortable with the payment. Not as great of an area as you would want, but let's send it to him right now because I like it and it's coming soon. Yeah. All right. 41st Street, attached Is that a mistake or is it and it's $1 million, 2,300 square foot. Okay, 41st City Heights. I don't really care for it, but it is a mistake though. They're advertising it as a condo. Looks like it's a house. Looking through the photos, big yard. It has some garages you could convert into ADUs. Let me see how big the lot is. 6,300 square foot lot. So again, potential to build. The price, I don't like it. It said it appraised for 1.1 million. But this is a mistake. You can capitalize on that mistake. No one's going to be looking at it because it says it's a condo. And originally they had listed it for 1.25 million a year ago, and it just didn't sell, overpriced. I think there's more to this property. Let me read this. Property includes 3 legal units plus 1 additional non-permitted studio, a permitted duplex, 2-bedroom, 1-bath studio. So a permitted duplex, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and a studio, a permitted detached 1-bedroom, 1-bath house. So that's 3 units, and an unpermitted studio, functions, layouts, abundant off-street park. I knew there was something else to this property. It just $1 million for 3 units. This is, again, we just saw one for 980. That's a good deal. Let me look at the photos again. Clean, decent. It just has a bunch of junk, which is good because I could see through that. And if you're a realtor, you should be able to see through that and look at the opportunity. Look at this big garage conversion you could easily do. Guys, if you look through the MLS daily, you're gonna have escrows. You have to just search through these and look at a big mistake. Claudia, is this listed as a units as well, like you said? Somewhere else, multi-units?
I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
this.
So this is a big mistake. No one sees this. It's a condo. They're advertising it as a condo. So we got to write it off on this one too. Let me look at the tax record just real quick, just to double check this person's work. So now we have 2. Wow, look at how big the lot is. For $1 million, residential financing. I mean, we got to get this into escrow with somebody. 3 units, 4 bedrooms total, 5 bathrooms total. Yeah, I like it. I could see why they have an appraisal for 1.2 million. Yeah. Okay. You got that one? Let me see. 2-bedroom, 1-bath studio and permanent detached house. So I think the rents might be a little bit low because it's a little bit smaller, but let's just run real quick. 2-bedroom, 1-bath could rent for probably like 2,200. Let's go with 2,100. Let's just do worst case scenario. 2,000, 2-bedroom, 1-bath studio could rent for 1,600, and a detached 1-bedroom, 1-bath house detached. That's another 2,000. So we're at $5,600 a month times 12, 67,200 a year, $1 million, 14.8 GRM. But then you have the garage in the back that you could convert. So yeah, this is definitely worth looking into. Cool. Wren Street, 92114, 5-bedroom, 4-bath house, 3,000 square feet. Looks like decent price, but not a deal. Half an acre in Cano. This is Logan 750 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath remodel. Seems about right. Doesn't seem like a great deal or a deal, sorry, for an investor. All right, the next one. Let's look at a triplex. The same one we saw earlier. Nothing new to see here. The next one, a fourplex on Estrella Avenue. It's actually 6 units for 2 million. First question is, what's the unit mix? You have a 2 bedroom, a 1 bedroom. So, I mean, the guy didn't write it correctly. So let's read the remarks. We are pleased to present a 6 unit consisting of 3 buildings. So it's basically three duplexes, 3,000 square foot construction. And then you have 1 2 bedroom, 1 bath. You have 3 1-1s and 2 studios. So I don't really like the unit mix. It's small for 2 million, but it looks like it's remodeled. It looks like they kept it up really nice. Wow. Great condition. So let me do a quick price per unit analysis. So 1950 divided by 6, that's 325,000 a door. And it looks like they're all remodeled or they look in really good shape. So I like that. I don't like the pocket. It's kind of the hood. It is the hood. But let's look at the rents. 131,000 a year. Let's run the numbers. Let's do a GRM. List price divided by total gross rents. 14.8. It's too high. But it's a nice property for somebody maybe that doesn't want the cash flow, but wants a nice 6 unit building. Next one, commercial multifamily. 1.5 million Vista. It looks like there's several parcels. Let me read this. Excellent opportunity for multifamily rentals, units, or mixed development. Estimated 20 to 24 units you could build on all 3 adjoining parcels. So it's 3 parcels, all 3 properties sold together for 1.5 million. And it doesn't give too much more information. Sometimes you can find a deal like this because the agent just isn't telling you what you got. So right here looks like 1 house, 2 house, 3 houses. So, and I don't know if these are houses or duplexes or what, but it's a huge piece of land. And I think they should be advertising it as whatever it is too. Multi-units, 3 houses, I don't know. There could be some opportunity here. Maybe, you know, this is an ADU, that's a house. So if you do that on every house, if you split it up, like this is for sure 1 house and 2 house, like this is so big. That's another duplex. You see how big it is there. And then the third one is I'm assuming this one over here, so you could probably do the same thing there. So now you have 6 units on a big lot. So this one right here. This is a good development piece as well, Claudia, for our developer client. And it's in Vista, up and coming, all that. All right. I think I'm just gonna look at this industrial thing and that's it. These are all units. I don't care about industrial units. There's no money in them. All right. What questions, comments do you have before we wrap up? I think we found a couple good deals, 2 or 3, whatever it was. All right. If you don't have any questions, comments, that's fine. We'll see each other tomorrow. Coffee and Cash. Get there at 7:30. It's going to be a great time. And then at 12 o'clock here at the office, our buddy is going to come down from LA and teach us how to use social media to get listings. Peace. Anything else,
Also,
Melissa?
really quick, if you haven't RSVP'd for the holiday dinner, can you RSVP? And if you haven't donated toys, can you help us and bring some into the office?
Cool.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.